In 1860, a group of 4 male tourists to Egypt purchased a coffin lid of an unknown mummy, believed to be a priestess of Amun-Ra. The first man, who paid for the coffin, walked off into the desert later that night, never to be seen again. The second man had his arm shot off by a servant. The third man lost all of his money, and the fourth man suffered a severe illness, lost his job, and became reduced to selling matches on the street. The mummy was passed around, bringing devastation wherever it went, until it was eventually bought by a wealthy American archaeologist. It was placed aboard a ship which sunk to the bottom of the ocean, with the lid never being seen again. This ship was the Titanic. So, let's go a bit deeper into this story. First of all, they didn't buy a dead body, as cool as that would be. It was just the mummy board, or the inner coffin lid of the mummy. Basically, it's the part that covers the body inside of the actual coffin. It was found in Thebes and is dated by its style as late 21st or early 22nd dynasty, so around 950 to 900 BC. We can also tell from the beardless face and position of the hands with its fingers extended outwards that it was made to cover a woman. However, we do not know who it was made to cover. I mentioned earlier that it was a priestess of Amun-Ra, although this is not technically correct. Amun-Ra is an Egyptian sun god, and women would be the ones to perform dances to praise him, which is where this idea of it being a priestess of him came from. The decoration and appearance of the lid also suggests that she is of royal blood, but this is also not confirmed. So, after the deaths of the 4 men who bought the coffin lid as a souvenir from Egypt suffered horrible fates, it was bought by an Englishman from London. Side note though, who buys a coffin lid as a souvenir, and how are they planning to bring it through baggage control in the airport? Were they planning to claim it was a friend of theirs and buy its own ticket? Anyway, after the Englishman received his coffin lid, 3 of his family members were injured in a terrible road accident, so he donated it to the British Museum. So, the coffin lid arrived at the British Museum, and as it was being unloaded from the truck into the museum, the truck accidentally reversed and trapped a passerby between it and a wall. After that was sorted though, it was carried up the stairs by 2 workmen. One of these men fell and broke his leg, whilst the other, who was in supposedly perfect health, died 2 days later. Nevertheless, it made it into the exhibit room. Hooray! Which is where its real fun began. The night watchmen in the museum frequently heard frantic hammering and sobbing from the lid. And I mean, no wonder, if you hammer your head constantly, then you're going to be crying from the pain. Exhibits were also hurled around at night. One night watchman actually died on duty, making all the other night watchmen want to quit. Cleaners also refused to go near the lid too, as a visitor had flicked a dust cloth on the face of the lid. His child then had died of measles soon afterwards. They decided it was best if the lid remained in the basement, as what harm could it possibly do down there? Within a week of doing this, one of the helpers became ill and the supervisor of the move actually died at his desk. Now, after everything that had gone on, newspapers and journalists wanted a report on the mummy. One journalist took a picture of the lid's face, but when he developed it, the picture was not the beautifully painted handcrafted wood of the lid. Instead, it was a horrifying human face. He went home, locked his door, and shot himself. The museum sold it to yet another private collector because of the misfortune. Upon receiving it, he put it in the attic. Which, I mean, why would you buy it and then just put it in the attic? That makes no sense to me. A little while later, a woman named Madame Helena Blavatsky visited the premises. Upon entry, she was seized with a shivering fit and searched the house for the source of this negative energy. She found the attic, went inside and told the collector it was evil. He asked if anything could be done, to which she replied, quote, "Evil is forever and nothing can be done about it." After hearing this, he decided it was best to get rid. Eventually, an American archaeologist who dismissed the happenings as cute little quirks paid a fat price for the lid and arranged for its shipment to New York. So on April 12th, as you know, this treasure boarded a fancy new starliner. This ship was, of course, the Titanic, and we all know how that one ended. But just in case you somehow do not know, it hit an iceberg and sunk. Sadly, the lid was not recovered after this sinking. Something else to note too is that the swimming pool on the Titanic is actually still full to this day, which is just insane to me. But that's just a story. A ghost story. Thanks for watching. Haha, I'm kidding. There is a large debate on whether or not this story actually happened, because to a lot of people, curses are not real and neither are ghosts. A big argument people give is that the medium I mentioned earlier, Helena Blavatsky, died in 1891, when the cursed mummy lid story is supposed to take place in the late 1890s, so how could she have possibly been to see the lid and felt its darkness? Along with this, people claim that there was no mummy lid on the Titanic, as it is not listed on the cargo list. However, others blame this on the curse, as if it could kill 20 people, it can remove itself from a list. So, I will leave this one up to you. Was it a mummy's curse that caused the Titanic to hit an iceberg and sink, or was it just really bad luck that day? Hello there, this is Octaps. So, what did you think of the video? Kind of spooky, eh? The thing is with the mummy, actually, the video kept crashing and not working the whole time, and I legit thought the mummy's curse was after me. Yeah, I'm insane. But if you did like what you saw, please consider subscribing, and you can follow me on Twitter at OctapsDocs. Yeah, see you next time. Bye!